Hello everybody, how are we? I am coming to you on this Monday, well, late morning, afternoon now, I think it's just gone 12, to do some like housey bits, do some DIY interiors and a bit of a declutter of the garage as well, so stay tuned for just a few house updates. So this morning I had to go into town, so I had to go to the bank, and obviously I couldn't go into town and miss the opportunity to go to the charity shops, so popped into a few charity shops and picked up some lovely little bits. So I thought we could clean those up together and pop those in place. And then I also found some really cute classic children's books from, I think it was Age UK. We've got a really good book one in town, and my plan is I think we'll sit down together and map out some of those into some different frames. So let me start by showing you some of the bits I've picked up in the charity shops this morning. I might also show you some bits that I've picked up recently, because I think I've been to some more antique shops since the last time I showed you. So I will go around and show you a couple of bits I've got, and then we'll get our craft on. Honestly, this is my favorite kind of day. Okay, so I recently went to Hopkinson's in Nottingham, which was amazing. It's like, it was 3 floors of beautiful antiques, and I picked up this most gorgeous wicker basket in this really nice kind of tone. I feel like you often see them either whitewashed or really orangey and piney, but I really love the colour of this one, and it's a real tight weave. I've just got potatoes in there at the minute, so that is sitting on there. I just think it's a real classic basket, and it's helping kind of give that Nancy Myers vibe. What else did I pick up? So then this morning when I was in Sue Ryder, I picked up these cute little pots. They come with this little stand, and I thought they would be really sweet to replace my current tea and sugar pots, and then I could reuse these for something else. Not quite sure what yet, but these are just a bit fiddly and they don't seal properly, and I'm not in love with this like brown anymore. I just feel like this is much more the vibe, so I'm thinking we just need to clean these up. I've obviously got them soaking at the minute, and then we can fill those up and then pop them in the corner over there. But I was really chuffed with those. They were £3. And then coming in over here, I picked up this. How sweet are these? So these were from the car boot, if you saw that video, and I picked up this really sweet like little, I don't know, it's just like a little stand. I don't know what it was supposed to be originally. A lot of my Pinterest pins for kitchens have like little shelves and things that just kind of help you vary the height of stuff on the counter. I think again that was like £2. I saw that in the Hopkinson's antique shop, and then I picked this up today in Ab Fab. How sweet is this? I've not cleaned it yet, so we can do that. But again, I don't actually know what it is. I wonder if it says on the label a trivet. If anyone in the comments knows what a trivet is originally used for, then please do let me know. But it's just this brass. It needs a bit of a buff. This was £8, but it is an antique, and it's got this super cute little, I think it's a kingfisher on there. Again, just 2. And I don't know if it will stay there. I literally got home and just popped it there. But just again, I feel like things like this you can't go wrong with, because they just help with varying the height. I mean, you could put a plant on there, but yeah, really happy with those. And then, oh, let's not tip them out. I also picked up some puzzles. So I don't actually own any puzzles, but my grandma was an avid fan of puzzles, and I know that these are a really good brand because I've purchased them before for my grandma. And I just thought, actually, especially over summer where I've got some more time to kill, these would just be so sweet. So this one was £3 and is called Sunday Drive. How cute. And then this one called Amsterdam Canal, a little bit brighter. They're both 1,000 pieces, but I just thought you can't go wrong with having a couple of puzzles, and these were a really good price for the amount of pieces and for the brand as well, and that one was £2.75, so really chuffed with those. Might do one of those later too. I'm coming into the bathroom, a bit random, but I picked this up too. How sweet is this? I don't know, again, I don't know what this is for originally. If you know, please let me know. But I am using this cute little wicker basket with these beautiful, like, oh, I don't know if you can see if it's focusing. It's got these beautiful ceramic kind of tiles on, these like ceramic handles too. But I just thought it, and again, I think this was £2, and I just thought actually it's the perfect size to keep your toilet rolls in the guest bathroom. So I just thought that was a good find. But again, it could be used for anything, but that's how I'm using it at the minute. I feel like I'm wandering around aimlessly being like, what else have I got? But do mind the mess. But I thought you've probably not seen the headboard and the painting up, so here's a little preview of that. So this was the headboard that we stained, and then the painting up, which was also only £1. Can you tell I'm addicted to a bargain? And I feel like it pulls the room together. Obviously we still only got one sconce up, but one DIY at a time, guys. And then I remember I picked these up from the antique shop too. These were £4 for the both of them, and they have this really cute trim. I always just keep my eye out for unusual or kind of different sized. They're really thin as well, frames, so I picked those up too. And then I've already made a start on my crafty bits, and then that was kind of what prompted me to get the camera out, so I do apologise. I have made a bit of a start, but I thought I'd show you these books that I got in Age UK, and these are the ones I'm going to use to start off my prints with. So I basically just had a look at all the old classic books, and any that had some cool little, any that had like cute little pictures in, I picked up, and I thought I would use them at some point. But also just these quite like funny little cartoons made me laugh too. Abundance and Accountant. Then this was £1.50. Some of the more classics are a little bit more expensive. Oh, just noticed that's a little sticker on there. I thought that was part of the thing, but this is obviously a classic Beatrix Potter book. And how sweet, how cute is that? Do you remember when we used to put our names in books? Again, I've already taken some pictures out, but just I feel like you can't really go wrong. Like, imagine that in a little frame. I feel like it's not fixing, and they've got a bit of texture to them as well. Just think they're so sweet. So that one. And then The House at Pooh Corner. How cute. Like every page you turn to, oh, there's just these beautiful illustrations. And come on, like, I want that on my wall. I feel like if you were doing a nursery, this would be a really cute idea. That's a cute one. And then, last of all, this Beatrix Potter book, which is Treasury, so it's got loads of the stories in. So that was a bit of a gold mine. I have already like pulled some out. Like, oh, that in a little frame. I really like that one. But I thought if I just over time build up my collection of these books, then if I want to change them up over time, then I can. Here are some of the frames I'm working with, and I've gone ahead and started cutting some images out. How cute is this little duck? And I've started just cutting out some. So what I did was I just went through the books to start with, ripped out any pages where I thought, oh my gosh, I love that. And that hence why there were some left over in that book. And then I've just looked at where they would best fit. Okay, so one of the things I have seen is mounting them with fabric. So I have seen that you can use these as kind of like the backdrop. So like, for example, that on there, or maybe that one on there, because it's the same like light blue, and then it would go in like the back of the frame. So I feel like I might play around with those. So I'm just basically gonna sit here, start chopping, and start framing. The summer holidays is just such a good time for me to take some time for myself, get creative and slow down a little bit, which during term time doesn't always happen. I just basically took the afternoon to do this, so I'm gonna leave the footage in here. If you've got something creative that you want to get on with, let's do it together. Take some time for yourself now, complete that puzzle, colour within the lines, paint that painting, and let's get crafty together. Although initially inspired by some Pinterest images and TikToks I'd seen, I didn't really have a plan of what I wanted to create when I started this. I didn't have a template or a reference to copy. I just was inspired by the images that were in the book and I went with it. You'll see that I did try a few different techniques on each frame, and I just basically experimented, gave myself the freedom to experiment with the process. Honestly, I can be a bit of a perfectionist. Usually I overthink things and want everything to look right or perfect or match, but giving myself the permission just to mess around, try things and not worry about the end result is actually quite freeing. If you know me, creating with fabric is not usually my thing, so I felt like a bit of a fraud videoing this because clearly I didn't have the skills or the tools. As you can probably see by the wall paintbrush and the use of normal scissors rather than fabric scissors, I was not massively equipped for this craft. This was an impulsive decision. I found the Mod Podge, which was super great, in the garage, and if you know me, that is not out of character. When I get an idea in my head, I need to do it there and then. Upon reflection, I definitely need some fabric scissors and maybe some smaller paintbrushes for my future crafty endeavours. So in terms of the materials that I was using, I just used bits of material I had lying around the house, either from past projects or things I don't use anymore. So the ditzy floral was just a piece of fabric I had, and then the other printed pieces that you can see are actually old wallpaper samples that I was toying with using, so I thought I'd use those up. And I have actually seen people online use old clothes that they don't use anymore with cute prints on. So I think going forward, I am definitely going to hold on to things like that and then find a new use for them. Throughout this crafty process, I feel like I learned a few things, built my confidence, and definitely sparked some creativity within my soul, which was definitely needed. This project was more about the process than the product, but I do feel like these frames did turn out really nicely. I will definitely be finding homes for these around the house. I think it's really nice that there's a personal touch to them, and I've got a connection with the piece of art that's going to be hanging in my house. Although some of them are a bit random, I think they turned out really nicely. So do let me know in the comments down below which one was your favourite and why. And guys, in all honesty, I did not get onto the garage. And you know why? Because I had used all my motivation and energy on creating those frames. So we'll have to get back to that in another video. But to end the day nicely, me and Akeem made a start on one of the puzzles that I picked up from the charity shop. And we honestly did that for longer than I would like to admit. So I'm going to leave this video here. If you have enjoyed this video, please do leave a like below and definitely subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in next week's video. Ta-ra for now.